so UG. It's in the way I talk, I'm so UG. From my head to my feet, so UG. What you get is what you see, I'm so UG. It's in the way I walk, so UG. It's in the way I talk, so UG. From my head to my feet, so UG. What you get is what you see, so UG. I'm so UG.
What up, what up? Welcome to another episode of the TheSoUgPodcast. My name is The Mith, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a father, husband, rapper, entrepreneur, farmer, occasional basketball player, pretend boxer, award winner, owner, my nigga. What it do?
Tell him, man, what's going on?
I'm all good, man. What's going on, man?
I'm happy to be on the couch.
Finally.
You know?
And for you, we had to do it different. We actually had to get a couch.
Yeah.
Everyone else is like makeshift joints.
Bring those plastic tables.
Hey, please. Yo, man, it's crazy. Like I was telling someone, doing this podcast, it's always like I always go and see what people refer to themselves as. Yeah. Right? And with you, me knowing you all our lives, like as long as we've known each other, checking and I see father, husband, it's like, yo, damn. Yeah. He is, he is my guy, but how
shook.
Oh, he's a what? How has that been?
How's your friend, the father, husband?
The father, which one?
Don't talk about my friend like that.
So how has that? How has that been? That journey. I mean, you're still on it.
Yeah.
How is that journey for you? The child, the kids.
Yeah.
The wife. How is that? Before we even get into the music, just that life on its own without any distractions. How is that for you?
I think at first it was beautiful and scary. Yeah. Simply because I always thought stuff like that was super planned out. You have to. Everything has to be set up just right. That's how I imagined, I imagined myself doing it. Because of how I am about things. Yeah. So when my firstborn was on the way, it was kind of like a shock, like, oh, this can happen. And then, my daughter comes along and it's like, okay, this happens. And then even when I'm in a structured marriage and it still happens, it made me realize. And also you think about the amount of, the friends you have who can't have, or who won't have. Relax. You really, I really started counting myself as lucky, Yeah. But at first it was scary and challenging simply because also by then our star had risen so fast in Uganda.
A little so
and the everything that comes along with tabloid had just kicked off. So it's like having, it's like how it was in the UK and, everywhere, South Africa. It's like when people realize they can talk about entertainers a certain way and you sell magazines and controversy about you sells magazines. As soon as people realize that, that our controversies equate to cash, then, then you're really in trouble. And that's what happened. As soon as I was having my kid, everyone kind of had that image of us, I guess, because of the branding that we are still those 15, 16-year-old kids. Yeah. They weren't really like, oh, it's a 26-year-old having a kid. They were kind of like, oh my goodness, he's having a kid.
Oh, dummy, too early.
He's not married. It's like 26. Most our parents had 3 kids. So it was that. And then, but for me, what outweighed it was just the beauty of it. Yeah. My kids themselves. Yeah. The way they are and their attitude towards life and me. I didn't know I could care about something like that, but I didn't know something could care about me like that. Because I purposely keep my distance from those kind of emotions, and you can't with your kids, So me emotionally, my emotional range just like opened up and changed, and my priorities. And it's been a beautiful experience ever since. Like nothing. It was that initial like, oh, what is this going to be about? Yeah. And then after that, it was just like.
So how does that affect your writing with the music? Like I hear it personally. I hear it more in the songs. Like like when you send an album, I'm always going to be like, yeah, the other song, and you're like, what? But you know, because for me, I'm hearing those moments when you're talking about how your daughter feels, how your kids feel, and all this type of stuff. You know, like, but how when you're writing, do you have those moments where you're like, okay, let me get into this bag and talk about my family, or does that just, you know, like a punchline you trade it for a lifeline?
I think it happens. You know, I don't want to. I mean, that line, for example, you know me in the movies, but like when the Joker is there and Two-Face is lying in the hospital, and he literally apologizes. You know, he's like, I don't really plan. You know, it's kind of the same with me. When I have a pen and pad in front of me, it just
whatever
comes to mind is whatever feels right in a line, I just put down. And then I think about it later. Unfortunately, sometimes I'm in studio when I'm writing these things,
and it stays. And
I produce.
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing because I haven't gone so out of pocket yet. You know, and hopefully that's not in my nature, but. It can be dangerous as well.
With hip hop, it's the you open that door, so then it allows people to then now speak on it if they want to, which is always like
you're like, that's really how you feel about that minister. You know, you're just like, hey, I was just rapping. You can't really take it.
You can't take it back. So now tell me, childhood for you. How was childhood? How was your childhood growing up? Like, how did you get into the music? You know, you're last born. You know, I'm thinking you have other distractions, because when you get into music, it's like the focus that you need is kind of like takes you away from other things. I'm mad because like my poetry, my art, our basketball, the rugby, all these things have gone away from me because of this thing that we love so much. You know, so for you, your family is bikes, is climbing mountains, is you know, tennis and all this type of stuff. So how was it for you growing up, and then when you get into music, how does this change for you?
I mean, early life was definitely like all about the sports and outdoors. My dad was a scout, so we're always camping out there.
These things you'd be trying to make me do.
You know what I mean? So you literally have your cupboard is split in two. You know, you have swag, and then on the other side is really just the boots and that's kind of how we came up. So we're always aware that there's another way to do things. We're always aware that you can sleep in a tent and cook. You can sleep outside actually and cook. And of course, not only from my dad's side, but from my mom's side as well, you have these, you know, like white hunters. You know, before it became taboo, and they became the biggest anti-hunting crew around. You know, like 50 years before it became illegal, they're already saying there's a huge problem happening over here. But no one really listened to them, but because they were the first guys out.
They're like, now you try
to check us, man. We get money, man. But so you have that side as well. So they're outdoorsmen in general, and then you have the huge sporting background. You know, the legacy of that. So that's what I came into the world with. It was pretty competitive. But of course, being a last born, you get used sometimes to coming in last. You know, you know the vibes. You were last born for a while. It was a pretty competitive upbringing. And then very loving. You know, on my dad's side, of course, he was very assertive and whatnot, but always cracking jokes, always having a good time. My mom the same, always you know, having a good time. So it was definitely a joke a minute, but good vibes.
Get things done, get this done.
Work hard, play hard kind of agenda. And then so when I switched over to music,
how does Navio get into music? I mean, I know the story, but then how does Navio get into music?
I think the music thing from the get-go, my mom was always rotating those records. Always bumping that, you know, the commercial,
the vibes.
And then I had my dad who was always blasting that old school Uganda vibe and whatever was playing here. So that world was always very close to us. You know, music and what was happening on the charts internationally as well. You know, so and then the ability to write music as well. You know, both my my sister and my brother are good writers generally. You know, the way they speak and whatnot is quite refined compared to me. So I guess just from observing them and observing that music background, I got a kind of like a backbone for it. You know, I understood that if you say understand, you gotta say rand on the next line. You gotta say brand. The concept of rhyme was always apparent to me from, you know, early on, 5-6 years old. And I guess, you know, those little do-re-mis in nursery school hurt. But,
quite important.
But I think from the first time I was in studio is after my father dies. So he dies when I'm 10 years old, and for like about, you know, like 6 months, I was very, we were really good friends. You know what I mean? So I was pretty distracted and such. And my mom knew that I was doing the music thing, or she used to see me at home. I spit a verse, you know, just playing around, and she's like, "Is that MC Hammer? Is that Vanilla Ice?" And I was like, "That's just something I wrote." And she was like, "Oh wow, that's pretty good." And because she listens to a lot of music, she was like, "That's actually not bad at all." So she knows that, you know, Hope Mukasa, who's of course a famous artist, you know, going up to the late 80s and 90s, has a studio, Bava, which is in Lunguja. Everyone knows about it in the neighborhood. You know, she goes over, we walk over, and she's like, "Yeah, my kid's busting some rhymes, whatever those are." And they sound pretty legit, you know. And so he hears me, and he's like, "That's pretty legit." And so he's the first guy who led me into studio at Bava Studio, which weirdly enough we would rewrite history with 6-7 years later. So I went in there. None of the older, you know, generation of producers, I won't name them, and they ain't famous anyway. They never made it anyway. But the one intern who was working there heard me and said, "Yo, this kid's got something." And he was catching a flight to the States for the first time in his life. Definitely. I think the first time in his life he was catching a flight to the States to expand his own music career and his own producing. And that was Steve Jean. You know, so Steve Jean was like, "Yo, yeah, I'll do a song for you." Do a song with him.
Where is the song?
Called None of Your Biz. It was on a cassette tape.
Where is this song? Is the question.
And we kept on doing this with it.
Where is the song?
It's in here.
Spit the song. Do you remember it?
I am what I am, and this what I is. None of your biz. I am what I am, and this what I is. None of your biz. I'm taking the tickets up. But it was one of those. It was a kicking it actually. But it was a, you know what I mean. That was a crisscross thing at the time. So it was like double time. So unfortunately I kept that same weak flow for 6 years till I met y'all. So I met all of these guys. We were in school with Abba. Abba Lang. He was in my school in Kenya, and he was here with the Mith and Papito in Hillside. So you could, I dropped it, by the way. After that one song we did with Steve Jean, that was it. And then. So
what did you get into at that time? You go back to your sports thing?
Sports school, strictly. And sports in overdrive as well. You know, I don't know what it was after my father passed away, but I really got stuck in with sports. You know, captain of every team.
Exit, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think so. Now that I look back on it, you know, I wanted to run and, you know, release whatever emotions I was feeling. So I really got stuck in, and then I got addicted to it. So I was on every sports team, and that was it, man. Sports, music. Music was to the side, sorry, but you know, we'd listen to the hits once in a while.
I'd be like,
I'd hear other people trying to rap, and I'd be like, "Oh, cool, he thinks he's gonna be a rapper." You know, in school you hear other kids, and he's like, "I would never do that."
Prezzo.
Be like, "Wow, Kalamashaka, whatever that means." You know, I didn't know I'd be right, you know, front and center, but came back. Abba is spitting bars. You know, in like my junior high school holiday, he's spitting bars.
Abba Langman.
Yes, Langman. Linguistics. Spitting serious bars. JB has come back as well from the States. I was in Troy with him. He's spitting bars. Not really on the level Abba was spitting bars. And then Abba has a friend in Hillside known as Mayanja Thomas. Timothy Badio Kwaboy. And he's spitting the maddest bars. So we all used to like meet up, you know, and I was kind of more like the hype man. you know,
Yeah, right.
the soda buyer.
Yeah, right.
You know, I mean, y'all, everybody good?
Yeah,
It was more
right.
Semi-managerial at the time.
Yeah, right. Managerial. Yeah,
You know,
right.
so, I mean,
Don't
you guys
do
were,
this.
you guys were dope. I was, I mean,
Don't do
I was the
this.
guy who played the ball. So I'd literally be on stage sometimes and put my basketball behind the DJ. You know,
Who was so shabby?
Yeah, oh my God.
Who was so shabby? It's like,
The word
what
swag.
are we doing?
In our defense, the word swag had not been invented.
Yeah, we had to figure it out because we were dead ass shabby.
Oh,
Like straight off the basketball court, hands dusty,
oh.
rap. If there was Corona those days,
It would be a rap.
oh,
A rap, really.
wow.
A rap. A rap.
sure. Anyway, yes, carry on.
Yeah, so we start, we basically all get together. You know, it brings those two sides together. We're meeting now at clubs, underground clubs,
Yeah.
battles, talent shows, and we're showing up.
Yeah,
Problem is, we're more like, minus the core group, we're like another 15 chaps, maybe.
yeah, we were very many on stage.
Yeah, so
We had no name.
yeah, it was.
We also had no name.
It was Zulu Squad for a while.
Is it?
Yeah, so
Oh,
we,
snap.
you're like, what?
I don't even remember. Like
Yeah.
I just remember the guys would be walking and it's our time to rap, and you just follow the
guys
20
come.
guys. Yeah,
Yeah.
Too many.
And then the mic cord was always really short.
Yeah, so you'd
we'd all-
rap in a corner while the rest of the group very Wu-Tangish.
Yes.
This is why I don't like Wu-Tang.
They remind you
I
of
was
your,
just like,
your
what we
legacy.
doing? What we doing? Yeah.
So yeah, you know, we do it like that, but we realized that there was a core group of people who maybe had that potential, and you could do back-to-back dope verses, or at least uniquely original verses.
Yeah.
And those 5 members kind of naturally gravitated towards each other, and Clear Cut was born,
born.
out of that. So
Yo, you talked about you dropped it somewhere, the battles,
yes,
right? So with Clear Cut, whatever happens. But then also our parents are worried.
very.
Our parents are worried these kids are too young to be walking around with this type of money.
Yeah.
Especially because I think parents would worry less if you drink and you have that type of money.
Yeah, true.
We were soda buyers.
Yeah, we were super sober.
With a lot of money individually. Like
Yeah.
it would come as a collective, but still individually it would be like it was a lot.
Yeah.
Right?
First group to get what, to break it down universally would be like $1,000.
Yeah.
At that point.
And that was like 2 weekends.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole weekend, like every day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
It became out of order.
To get a grand to perform when you're 14 years old.
Yeah, 14. It was a little too much. But our parents sent us away
Yeah.
for the good of us,
Yeah.
really, I think.
Yeah.
But also the group. And you get into SA, which is this. I mean, even to this day, South Africa is this market, is this juggernaut, is this thing, is this giant.
Yeah.
But you get into it and you're now tied into, you're battling for respect.
Yeah.
But you're battling, people who we're now seeing.
Yeah.
You're battling your Reason, who's Sizwe Alkaline. You're battling Zeus, yes, Pro Kid and all this.
Yeah. Pro Kid.
The late Pro Kid.
I battled him and I'm like, yo.
How was that for you, especially considering the fact that you're coming from Uganda? Yeah. We also don't know what battling is at that time. I think when we came back, we were like, okay, so let's get into it. But then you're out there and you're battling, trying to prove a point. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to get signed? Because you still have the basketball going heavy?
Yeah. I mean,
so what were you trying to do with it?
At that point, I think first of all, there's a money aspect that came up in South Africa.
That's what money is good.
I have a friend called Eric Kaduru.
Eric.
And he's like, hey man,
this rapidy rap thing you do.
Yeah, you heard this 10K on the, we can win 10K. I was like, He's like, yeah. We can win 10K, man. You rap, don't you?
You dabble.
Yeah.
You play around with his words.
Let's go hit this battle.
Yeah.
So they'd really be, and of course, it's natural. You're always gonna run out of resources, and sometimes you got low on cash here. You wanna buy
especially
these-
uni,
yeah,
high school.
exactly. Yeah, you're trying to buy these type of shoes for basketball.
Yeah.
Then you got, sometimes you don't want to put that stress on your parents either.
Yeah.
So, some of those battles were coming up in SA, and they were sponsored by like big name brands. So there'd be some real cash, $10K here, which would be the equivalent of like $400-500 here, $1,000 here. It was like, it was good money for kids in uni.
Yeah.
And so that would be one of the first ones. But also, I was so curious about it. I was so curious about the battle circuit because, you'd always hear stories coming from there. Like, yo, this happened, this guy battled this guy. It was like, he came up with this, this and that. And so my love for spontaneity came from there. Feeling a beat and getting into a vibe and just speaking the first thing that comes to mind. It came from that. And my love for it came from that. Being able to just see something and put it into a rhyme and make it make sense. But it does really work on you emotionally.
Yeah.
Mentally and emotionally. You're always thinking.
Yeah. A line is there's a hidden meaning. Behind everything.
Yeah, and that kind of it puts a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah.
Whereas when you just do tracks, Migos style, though they're pretty good freestylers too.
How do you go from that then? Because it was like, you had that battle life, then you'd come back here, and then it's ruckus. Like how are you doing this, and like what mind frame? Like when do you switch on, switch off?
And that's the thing. I think you always have to be on.
Yeah.
Because also being part of a group.
Yeah.
You're kind of you have a responsibility to what the group's been doing. At the same point in time, you never want to be, because you're always trying to get better at rap, you never want to be like, what's the word for it? You never want to be underestimated. So my thing was like, you guys were like, yo, pick a lane. I was like, why?
Yeah.
I was like, I want to be dope at everything. I want to be able to get on a raga beat, which I should have never done. Half responsible for blowing it up. But, raga beat and destroy it. I want to be able to get a reggae beat, hip-hop beat, trap beat. That was just my thing. I saw them as challenges, and I think maybe that's part of like my upbringing is like,
everything is a challenge. Right?
Yeah, and
go through it.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah.
Am I good at this? What's gonna come out of it? Some people will appreciate it, some won't. I've always had that thing about me. So it's always been a blessing and a curse because I'm always ready.
Yeah.
If someone says let's go do a show in Malaysia at a techno club, I'm good.
Yeah.
If someone says let's go do an underground battle thing, I'm good. If someone says let's go to reggae fest, I might get away with it.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's so much pressure, especially now, on the younger guys? Because I mean, like us, it's like they've kind of like given us our pass. But do you feel like there's pressure on the younger guys right now? Like, hey, you can't, because there's this whole questioning about, does Fit for make a rap? Is that hip hop?
Yeah.
Is that what do you think about that discussion? Is there pressure on these kids? What should they do?
Yeah. I think it's actually less now.
Yeah.
Because you have this huge emergence here of the whole Afro pop vibe that's come into music. Yeah. And also here in UG, people have accepted a lot of guys rapping and doing that semi-raga rap thing, on beats. So it's easier for them now than it was for us.
Yeah.
For us, it was massive
the
line,
same type of beats.
Yeah, so I think it's actually easier for them now to switch between.
Yeah.
And I think there's less of a need for them to switch between. Hip-hop as a market can take care of itself if people just dedicate it to them.
Yeah.
Dedicate themselves to that. So, when for example, there's, a mentorship program that we did, and it's like, I was like, if that turn-up side is really not part of what you do, then
you don't have
do
to.
it. Yeah,
you don't have
but
to.
me, I'm really, when I hear Peter Miles spit something, I'm like, oh man, I wish I could get on the back of that, get on the track
and go off with them. Yeah,
but for some people, they don't feel that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I feel more than ever, now that I've done the commercial thing, that someone shouldn't fake that.
Yeah.
If you rap and you enjoy trap, do it.
Yeah.
Make commercial trap if you have to.
Yeah.
But stick to trap.
Yeah.
You know, if that's what you love to do, the Ugandan album.
Yeah. Thank you.
There's dope songs, there's underground songs, there's commercial songs.
Yeah.
It's all hip hop because that's what you do.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like you would get a more concise view of an artist if he just sticks to what he wants to do.
Yeah.
If someone wants to, like, for example, like an Eminem, for example, sometimes he wants to go off the wall, but he's gonna do a commercial track. Completely commercial. He's singing, yeah, guess who's back?
Yeah.
He's back. But the boy can spit.
The boy can
you know what I mean?
Yeah, he gets busy if he wants to.
Yeah,
when he wants to.
So I always felt like that. I'm not Eminem, but it came naturally to me. Yeah. So I tell kids, man, you do exactly what you feel like doing. Yeah. Don't think you can't go commercial. Yeah. With certain types of tracks.
What do you think? I mean, when you talk about that mentorship program you just did. Yeah. How important are those programs? How important are they? Also, what do you think UG hip hop needs more of? Because I feel like guys are. I mean, part of the reason I don't like doing media runs is because I get tired of being asked the same fucking question of, man, what do you think UG hip hop should do? Yeah. Right? When I'm in the thing, I'm here. Yeah. So many years later. Yeah. You're here. Yeah. Flex is here. You know what I'm saying? There's just so many of us. Yeah. They can have a whole week of new videos, new tracks, new this every day. I'm like, what more do you want us to do? Do you want us to like start battling and jumping? You know, like, but I ask you, for someone who has traveled more, you have experienced more with this UG hip hop thing of ours. You have, I mean, like you said, Malaysia. You had Thailand. Yeah. It's one time you're calling me. I'm in Thailand. I'm like, do you want? Yeah. I'm here to perform. I have a club thing. Yeah. Like what? You know, like. But then you have states. You've done a tour. I mean, right before lockdown, the COVID, you were on a tour. How many?
16.
16. Yeah. You know, so all this, it's like you've seen it. So what would you tell the younger guys to do more of with this thing of ours? Yeah. This thing of ours that we love so much.
Yeah, I'd say, especially while you're young. Yeah. Uganda is one market, and you cannot. I feel like you will not be able to feed yourself off this one market. Yeah. You can, but don't limit yourself to one market. Mm-hmm. You know, like Abuja and Lagos should be two different countries.
It really should.
I mean, you're in Lagos. There are 40 million people, man. So it's like Uganda in one city, right? You know, so and they still go to Abuja after. Mm-hmm. And there's plenty to do in Lagos. Yeah. They still go to Abuja, and they still go to Accra in Ghana, and they still go to Benin, and they still try and cross to our territory. Mm-hmm. I feel like traveling and getting your music out there is the way to go. There's some rappers that are so dope that you need
them to go out.
Yeah. You go onto an HBR. Yeah. In Nairobi, and you'd be like, I'm understood here, as well as all the stations here that would support you. There are urban stations there that would support you. Mm-hmm. There are urban stations in Tanzania, if you're dope, that will support you. Yeah. You know, and those guys really
they understand. They understand it. Yeah, very true.
So I no longer want Ugandan artists that are just in Uganda. Yeah. Talking like there's a couple kids. There's a Raga kid who called me out. I'm not going to mention him. And I was just like, should you be going out with Wizkid? Or Davido, if you got some balls, you know what I mean. Like, why would you call out a 50-year-old Navio,
retired, semi-retired Navio?
He's got like 14 kids. Why would you call him out? It's so weird. And way more money than you. Yeah, you know what I mean. It was super weird. Yeah, you need to be out there proving yourself to the biggest markets out there. Mm-hmm. What are South Africans? Have you been in a South African magazine? Yeah. Have you been in a Nigerian magazine? Mm-hmm. Have you seen what's happening in Morocco? Yeah. You know what I mean? We have. Yeah. KLEAR KUT has. You know what I mean? Navio has. Yeah. So I'd say to them to just stop being so closed in, even if your stuff is in Uganda. Yeah. Or whatever you're rapping in. Get it out there.
Someone also said, "Oh, the Luganda limits Ugandans," and I was like, I remember you said, when you came back, when we both came back, we're back. When you had Ngalo, it was that petrol station in Lugogo.
Yeah.
When we had the beats, I won't forget that day. And we're in Shamika.
Yeah.
And you were like,
Shamika is a car.
Shamika is a car.
That we
It's a whip. The name for the car.
Yeah.
And I remember you said, what these words do. These little words, Ngalo, Boss, Vao, Tulimuchin, to, all these little things that we were doing. You said what they do is give us an identity.
Yeah.
Right? So you've always been about that Luganda, like, don't be fooled.
Yeah.
Use that as your identity to go out and smash it.
Yeah.
Right?
Or and even just in English, even just talk about what you do, like, sorry, I brought you up in the interview yesterday as well. I was like, the Ugandan, Mr. TheSoUg.
Yeah.
These are the tags you live by. Like, you rap about stuff that's happening here in Tinder, something that happened on the corner here.
Yeah.
You just rap about your surroundings. So I think that really brings people.
I mean, the guys we listen to, Jay-Z's telling us about Marcy projects. We when you went to States, you were like, this studio where Pac and Big recorded from, because it was crucial. Like, oh my God, I've heard this all my life.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing for me. It's like, I feel like with the music, I always feel like we are the brand ambassadors.
Yeah.
For the country. You don't need validation from like the government to say that yes, you Navio now you are. No, in the music you are.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be like Ngalo, and guys are going to be like, what language is that?
Yeah.
Oh, Uganda.
True.
Oh, tell me about Uganda. So all these things start happening, and by default you become that guy.
Yeah. I mean, to this day, I'm not entirely sure what a Doc Shebeleza is. And I'm cool with that dude.
It's a who?
I'm cool with Casper. Yeah, it's a dude.
Okay.
I know that now. But for years, I didn't know what a Doc
Shebeleza.
was.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm rocking to it.
Yeah,
I
we're
feel the vibe,
going off. Yeah, that's true.
So music, we can't underestimate the vibe and the feeling you get from music without even understanding what it's about.
With the battles, like earlier you said, this ragga guy going at you. You've had your collection of battles. At times it's like, it's always confusing to me because at times I literally just fall in cups.
Yes.
I'll just be there. It's like, wait, what? Who? Today? Who? What? And you're showing me videos of people at interviews, and for you, I'll tell you this. I liked the you and Atlas thing. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's English guys. You guys are well versed in going off and everything.
Yes.
Also, you both play ball. I was like, well, if we could take it to the courts.
Take it to the courts.
We could take it to the courts. Play a game of horse,
basketball, and then rapping. Whoever takes most points.
So it's like, it was that too.
Yeah.
But then also, I felt like there was a mutual respect between you guys.
Yeah.
Like, maybe people went off, people in the camps went off, but like between you two, I felt like there was a mutual respect.
Yeah.
And it was lyricism. Like, okay, you show me, I'll show you. You know.
Yeah.
But then you then had GNL. You've had Gravity.
Yeah. That's basically the biggest boys I've trained to.
Yes.
Yeah.
With you. Because there are times when I find you and it's frustrating for you.
Yeah.
And you're just in the mood and you're like, yeah.
Right?
And other times you're like, okay, let's play.
Yeah.
How do you...
I mean, okay, the frustration comes from one, either the person is dope.
Yeah.
But they ain't got no followers.
Yeah.
So I feel like now, as a businessman, I'm like, why should I reply?
Yeah.
But I want to. You know what I mean? Just as an MC, I want to go off. But I can't. I'm just like, oh man, how does it help me really?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I might as well just go hand you money.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Plus, it's a battle.
Yeah.
So I can't actually win this way. But so that's one issue.
Yeah.
And then the other issue is, like for with one of the other battles, it's like stuff got physical immediately. So even when I'm thinking of engaging in like a lyrical way. Something happens and then it becomes a real street problem.
Yeah.
And then you have the third issue, which is that person is so out of your range. Now they're not lyrical. and they're not dope. And we can't actually exchange. You know, you pick up a pen to write, and you're just like, oh. You know, and you hear the thing he said for you, and he's like, yo, A, B, C, D, I'ma hit you like a, give you a bottle of juice, and, you know, you're just like, oh, I can't even reply to this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it you know, I wish I could just get a guy he's dope and has a following.
Yeah.
You know, just someone who's on level and lyrically dope. You know what I mean?
And we just go off.
We can boogie, yeah.
Okay.
And they don't try and make it a street thing, because that usually just ends it immediately.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, oh.
Because, no one wants it to go that way.
Yeah.
Especially with,
Yeah. Well, we do. No, I mean, we don't mind. Our people around us.
The people around us
we have
carried
nothing
away.
to do. That has nothing to do with
They
us.
can be carried away.
Yeah, yeah.
Yo, so I talked to a couple of our friends in the industries across Africa. It's something I like to do. Just hit up people and be like, yo, I'm interviewing Navio. Ooh, so I hit up our homie, the Godfather, Nonini.
Oh no, he knows too much. He knows too much.
So I told him, I said, yo, you have any question to ask Navio? What's that question? And I said a question, but the man said 5. But anyway, do you think if you were born in a different continent, your career would have had a different trajectory? Why music? With your height and attitude, did you ever think of possibly playing basketball professionally? That's all from Nonini.
Okay, wow. Okay, so the first part.
Do you ever think,
I think it would have been a different trajectory, just as far as the way music is structured.
Yeah.
Because even from over here, no email, no Gmails, no Instagrams. We maybe got like 3 or 4 offers from international companies to sign KLEAR KUT. So I think definitely at 14 years old, that type of talent, anywhere in the world, it's a win. You know what I mean? The kids are fresh. We were shabby.
Yeah, then
but
we figured it out.
You know what I mean? You know, the kids are fresh. They've got rhymes. They've got enthusiasm. They're 5. They're all homies. You guys grew up together. Like, it was a dream team. You know, so I definitely think, if we were somewhere which had there was no management structure. Management is being set up now. This is 20 years after we come out.
That's true.
You know, proper management structures are coming out now. So I definitely think we would have gone ham if that had been there. And then basketball, I think
would you have taken it professional?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I got I think it was MSU. I got an offer from MSU and then Miami as well. Miami U or whatever it's called. They give us but I mean, it was still expensive. You know, I got a scholarship and it was still going to be too much of a strain on the family. I was missing school because we're struggling to put my brother and my sister through their last bits of college and university. So, and I was like 2-3 years young for my class. So you know, it was no problem for me chilling. And KLEAR KUT was born as a result. You know, so
what's his name? Bujingo, the comedian. I remember we met him last year when we were out at that beach, the beachfront.
Yes.
And he was like, yo, I hated you guys. I was like, what? He's like, I hated you guys. I said, why? You guys were like swag, rich guys. I was like, rich? Fam, swag? He was going off. It's like, and you'd walk in and you think you're all that, and you were so many.
You'd come buying bottles, so many bottles of alcohol.
Soda.
Like we didn't drink, man. Those guys, we didn't drink.
But he said, and you were going to the flyer schools. I'm like, I think there was like 2 of us who were like in dead years, like, cause like people, this music actually then helped birth these things, like. I always tease you, like, whenever we're up in, is it Gulu where they still have the picture of you on Protector?
On the billboard, You know what I mean? Condom ads, bro. I done my time. I don't know about y'all. I done my time.
That is so
and ads themselves.
Yes.
You know, like voice ads.
Yes,
you know, I used to do, they used to pay me 15,000 Ugandan shillings for voice ads. So we'd knock out like 20, 30 ads a week at Summer Timbers.
I started doing after you did that. When you told me that, I started doing with Dembe. And I think for a while Dembe's radio tag was my voice, if I'm not mistaken. It was wild.
So basically, we coming for the check now.
We have the whole thing.
I mean, y'all ain't paid us for work. We coming.
We're coming. Then Leslie Kasumba.
Oh wow.
Lee Kasumba.
They know too much.
No, but you see, they all then just became too professional for my liking.
Nabunya.
Namunya
Stop
became
it.
too. She said,
Uh-huh.
if you were in another country, do you think your career would have reached greater heights?
I think it's telling that two
Yeah.
great people
Yeah.
are asking this question.
Yeah, yeah.
Are they saying we should have left Uganda? I mean,
maybe
and
that's why I lead.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the questions that I get asked most. And even from like P Square's manager Jude, he's like,
Yeah.
if you can relocate from that place,
Yeah.
I would love to be involved in stuff you're doing, and a lot of the offers and stuff that we've received.
Yeah.
So I definitely think, it might have gone that way,
changed,
but we are patriots at the end of the day.
I also feel like the canvas that it allows us to paint is why people like us. It's like,
True,
this country that these guys are from.
Yeah.
We're rapping this because of where we're from.
It's lit out
Yeah.
there. We get a lot of our inspiration from what's going on.
So it allows us to just
Yeah, I think there was you can definitely feel there was another path that we that was open to us, but I don't feel like it was wrong to stay on ground and try and help build the music industry here.
You had Rockstar, Outrageous, all this
Universal.
like Universal, all these people approached. Yeah, I mean the last album was Rock Nation. The Sins was Rock Nation.
Yeah.
Have you never just been like, yo? Because when I had the meeting with Sony, I almost went.
Yeah,
I was like, I think I tried to talk to you because we were both in
like,
SA.
there's one little thing.
Yeah, I was like, I almost left because I was like, yo, fam.
Yeah.
But then how is it? And the offers are hectic.
Yeah.
None of those offers was like, you didn't sit down with mom and the family and just be like, yo.
I mean, for me, I always felt like I'm gonna go and become an artist from there. And also, when you talk to them and they're like, so what we want to try and do is we're gonna try and make you a big world star. There's this, for example, one deal they were like, there's this new EDM vibe, and I was like, okay, I could go and get lost in there.
Yeah.
But coming back from that to try and do Ugandan African music, because that's my passion, is African samples.
Yeah.
To try and come back from that and do that when I've been in techno clubs, might be tricky. And then you have another crew who wanted me just for rugged hip hop, which was also seemed to be fading out a little bit. So I was like, how lucrative is this gonna be if Guru and these guys themselves are not selling like they used to?
Yeah.
If I'm coming in on a new, on the back of that, how's it gonna move? And then I mean, home is home, man. Especially after having my kids and whatnot. It's like, I want them to grow up Ugandan.
To experience the same,
so it's
run the same streets. That we're running.
So the sacrifice is for that, man. And I mean, financially also, what would I be risking? What kind of security would I be risking? I'm cool with the risk. Maybe when if it was a bit earlier in my career. But like by the time I got to like 28. And you're getting your savings together. And you're like, school fees is real.
Every year. Every year when I talk my shit, you're like, bruh, relax, because that's school fees. That's school fees, bruh. Relax.
Ladies, do not let him make you believe.
Right? And then at the start, he said, I
am
refuse to have children. The man is telling me school fees. It's too much. Daycare.
Ladies, I'm not the one stopping him. I'm officially going to say here. The Myth 2022, August, he's proposing the sub-bag. If you're the lucky lady, better get to work.
Wow. Wowzer.
Line them up.
BK said.
Oh.
DJ BK said, you are given one opportunity for the entertainment industry. What do you do? One. Uno.
One move.
One move. What do you do? What's that one move that you do?
Make every single station, TV station, radio station, online, pay full royalties to every act, whether or not they are a part of a a copyright brotherhood. What are they called?
Oh,
an organization.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Regardless,
Yeah.
we're going to find you and pay you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything.
Every station, all those 40 stations in KLEAR and another 120 stations around Kampala.
Yeah.
All of them pay royalties. TV stations, whatnot. You pay full royalties. Not some pay, some
Yeah.
don't pay.
Yeah.
Everybody pays.
Do you feel like I mean, it's a constant discussion. I remember we were in one of the meetings about the copyright law.
Yeah.
And the guys said, if you play, I don't know, like, no, it has to be when.
Yeah. And whether or not you play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you had a radio station, a few radio stations just say, we won't play Ugandan music. I'm like,
yeah.
If you are not contributing to the culture of Uganda, if you're not contributing to the culture of Uganda, and actually, you know what's crazy? If someone had approached the owner of those stations,
Yeah.
and said, guys,
Yeah.
let's have a real discussion.
Yeah.
Are you really not going to culturally promote?
Yeah.
I'm sure they would have come around.
Yeah.
And been like, but they just left them all to their devices.
Yeah.
And now we were in the same situation.
We are.
But
Unfortunately.
yeah, you need to pay, man. Pay whether or not you play.
Yeah.
Not pay for play. You pay.
Pay everyone.
Pay a fee. And then with the ones who are playing a lot of Ugandan music, we can also quantify now.
Yeah.
The
that's
software,
true.
and we can quantify what everybody gets. That's the one move I'd make. The other move is to just have Jay-Z sign me. I'll come back and save all of y'all
Bring Rock
later.
Nation here.
Yeah, I'll save the rest of y'all later. I promise. That would be the other. Yeah.
All right. So, your 3 best moments in the industry, your success, your 3 best moments, your whole career. Your 3 best moments.
Man. Okay. KLEAR KUT launch.
Mad.
First album.
Mad.
First album ever compiled. Hip-hop album properly released.
Mad. Kati Kati.
First,
Sabrina's Kati Kati.
First concert ever done. First tour ever done. I mean, it was
The
a feeling.
first.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
really at the forefront of kicking open that door.
Yeah.
So I'd say that first concert.
Damn,
was like, hey,
I'd drifted off a little
yeah,
bit.
yeah. We're like, we're rappers. We're
Yo.
really rapping. You're there and someone's rapping your stuff back to you from the
Yeah.
crowd. That's crazy.
That was crazy.
So that was definitely a highlight.
Yeah.
I'd say, man, it's so hard. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I'd say Wyclef, getting on stage and going bar for bar with Wyclef for like 20-30 minutes.
Where's that video? It's somewhere? We have it?
Yeah, I think it's online. There's a part of it online.
Yeah.
They got the Ken Daniels from Swahili Nation got
Yes.
the end. But we went off for like 20-30 minutes.
Yeah.
And he was just like, this guy's out of here. What are you doing here? Again, he was like Nonini and Lee. He's like, what are y'all doing in this lovely country?
Yeah.
I love Uganda. Right? No. So yeah, that was a big one. Before you got arrested, I would say the R. Kelly joint, but let's leave that. Let's leave that alone.
Yeah.
And I'd say in this pandemic, releasing Strength in Numbers in this pandemic after a 2-year hiatus, the birth of my 2 kids,
The 2 kiddos, yeah.
coming back and still managing to do that for the fans.
Yeah.
It took a lot of heart.
50,000 views? Was
Yeah.
it? That thing was mad. I was watching it the other day. I was like,
Yeah.
these numbers were hectic.
Yeah.
These numbers were crazy.
Yeah. And it took a lot of walking, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, big shout out to everyone who was involved in that.
Yeah.
Strength in Numbers launched during the pandemic where no cars, no vehicles,
No cars,
bikes
nothing was moving.
was allowed to move, but we still managed to put it together. And then somebody called and tried to sabotage us as well. They called the ministry to come and make sure that we had a certain amount of people in the room and all sorts of stuff.
And you guys were like 4.
Yeah, and we still pulled it off.
Yeah, because there was even the delay, right? Because it was supposed
Yeah.
to be 2, then it hit us at 4.
Yeah.
Nonsense.
240, but yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So those are some highlights, but they're too many.
They're too
man.
many. They're too many.
Yeah.
Which is your favorite album?
Oh, this Core Awards was pretty. That was
Core Awards is mad.
That had an ambiance to it.
Core Awards is mad.
Shout out to Mohombi as well.
Core Awards. Oh, that Core Awards. I thought the first Core Awards.
Yeah, and
Either
one too.
Oh my god,
that one too. That was crazy.
Cause like the Mohombi.
That was crazy.
I think we have the footage.
Yeah, from the first one.
Yeah.
You turn this way. Kofi Olomide. Oliver Mutukutsi here for breakfast.
Gerald Levert. The late was there. I think Papito took a picture with Gerald Levert.
Yeah. And who do you think he thought someone was dead? Another Longomba. What?
Who thought that? Papito.
Yeah, he thought he was dead.
Take him
So he's
out
like,
of
hey, I thought you were dead. Let us take a picture. I was like, oh Lord.
Then okay, so allow us
Yo.
Yo. So yeah, I'll say which of your albums is your favorite album? Like, which project do you look at and you're like, this is my most complete body of work, my favorite joint?
It's impossible now, man.
Yeah.
Because you go back to something like Pride.
Yeah.
And you're just like trouble.
I think Pride is your one.
No holding back.
I think Pride is your one.
Pride
was the one where you like the gloves were off. You were like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Pride was the one.
In terms of like how it was organized and how it came off, I like the vibe of like African Hustler and The Chosen.
Yeah.
The
Chosen.
I wasn't thinking too hard, and it was literally everything was felt like a freestyle.
Yeah.
That's how I went into it. I'd do the first 4 bars, then stop there and do another 4 bars, and then stop. Then Sam would record it felt like I was free somehow. But man, if you talk about hits, Pride, man.
Pride was hectic.
Pride's crazy.
Which album had the Sauti Soul record?
Yeah, Pride.
Pride.
Yeah.
Head to toe.
Yeah.
Head to toe, right?
Yeah. And Something About You.
About You, yeah.
Which actually,
we had the
Burna
video.
Boy heard that and he's like, this is the future of this is the future sound of African music, but no one is going to understand what you're doing right now. So he's like, re-release that in 2020.
Oh, let's re-release.
Yes.
No, like, so for you, how do you all this, your serial, I keep saying that to you, your serial collaborator.
Yes.
How do you choose who to work with? What is it that drives you to a person? Because you were heavy on Sauti Soul before.
Yeah.
Like I hadn't, like when you did that song, I was like, who's Sauti Soul?
Yeah.
Then I got back onto their stuff and now I'm telling you about them. I'm like, yo, they do shit. You know, like, cause it's like, how do you pay attention to these acts? Yeah. What is it that drives you to them?
I mean, you hear. For me, I need to hear it. I need to see it. I need to hear you. Or see you. Like I think with Sauti Soul, I saw them on stage. Yeah. And they were just little scrappy boys. Yeah. And I saw them and I was like, these guys.
It's a problem.
Yeah. And then they released some music. They weren't really big yet. But I said these are some guys that I have to work with. In the same way, actually, while we talk about Pride, Enos B,
yes.
Is on there.
Oh wow, yes.
So.
Oh wow.
So look at him. Yeah, people are like, yeah, you always got the big collabos. Where I'm like,
yeah.
Sometimes they weren't big yet.
You had Ricardo Banks?
Yeah, Ricardo Banks as well. Yeah. Pride as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
That album was a problem. When people say, you don't do stuff with new acts, I'm like, a lot of those guys weren't new acts. But they don't pick up my calls now. What happened, guys? You got too much money for me? Nah, it's good.
Yeah,
we good.
Who are you looking at in UG and you're like, whoo, like leave the guys alone because we know the guys. We know the guys on fire. Which female do you look at and you're like, yo, and just not necessarily hip hop. Yeah, but just when you listen to Ugandan music and you're like, damn, who is this? Yeah, I like her vibe.
I mean, okay, it's people that some of these people have been around for a minute.
Yeah.
But like you hear someone and like the sound quality like a Martha Smalls, how she's putting it together. It's like nothing is. It's effortless sometimes. Yeah. With her, it's just productivity and how to market it. Yeah. Then of course you have Blue Boots.
Yvonne
Navetta.
Serenade.
Yo, I mean, you know, she's a beast.
Yeah.
And she doesn't even record anymore. You know,
Yeah.
she's living on an island. She's in, back on Kalangala or something.
Yeah, yoga.
It's a lot of people who've quit actually. Her, Tracy. You know Tracy from
yeah.
Competition is Dead?
Yeah.
She blew me away. I was like, did Riri just
Yeah,
make
that
song?
competition. The competition is dead. So it was
Yeah,
hectic.
yeah.
Remember, we kept asking if it was a sample.
Yeah, yeah, because it was unbelievable. And remember, that auto-tune stuff
Wasn't there? Sam wasn't doing that
You know
with
what I mean?
anyone. Rap,
It's
sing.
like, you better really sing it or you gonna fail it.
Yeah.
So dope. Yeah, other females, there's a bunch, man.
Yeah,
It's just a
yeah.
bunch,
Yeah.
It's wide open right now.
How do you deal with female love, consistency, and your diverse approach to hip hop? The Strength in Numbers album success, direction of the album, collaborators, and releasing the album in a pandemic. Talk about the relevance of the title. God damn it, that's Aniko.
We're gonna break that up.
Wait, that's Aniko.
Okay, so first thing was
Aniks.
all right, the female issue.
Yeah, how do you deal with the female love?
Luckily, you know what's crazy? I went on and I almost fell off my chair. So I went online and I went to the insights.
Yeah,
And my followers are now 66% men.
dudes.
Yeah.
That's wild.
You know what I mean?
I've always been like up there with the dudes. I'm like, yo,
What's
maybe
going
I
on,
need to
man?
just release all these love joints and we'll see what's up.
They'll be like, yeah, he understands us even more. Let us follow him even more. Man,
God
trust
damn
me,
it.
fam. So, yeah, because it used to be like
Yeah, yours was hectic.
85%.
Yeah, yours was hectic.
Babes.
You had the Bachelor of the Year.
Yo!
It was a battle between you and Maurice.
You know what I mean? It's crazy, man.
Rebels.
Yeah.
But how do you deal with it? Because we've been out and it's like,
Yeah.
I think. See, now with marriage, it's like
Yeah.
they're more respectful, which is so dope to see.
A little bit.
Yeah. But those days, it was like when it was single, I used to just be like, yo, this is nuts.
Yeah. And dangerous.
This is the school we went to.
Yeah.
The school we went to where they took the security bullet.
Yeah.
They carried bullet.
They carried our security off and it's like, and he's the heavyweight champion of East Africa.
Yo.
They just carried him up and said,
So that time you have those moments. So
Yeah.
like dealing with it, how is it?
it's you really need to you better get used to it quickly.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be all shy and bashful about it and not understand how human beings react
Yeah.
to you once you're stuck,
Yeah.
then you're really gonna have a hard time. But if you really study up on game and you study the industry, you know that there's gonna be offers from girls. There's gonna be this. There's gonna be that. But what are you really chasing? What are you really focusing on?
Yeah.
You know, like if some of that stuff happens along the way, so be it. But it should never really characterize your whole career.
Yeah.
You know, something like that happening because, I mean, this is one of those countries where an R. Kelly situation would have been so easy to set up. Like celebrities at that point were like gods here. You know what I mean? Small G. Like you could do anything. You could throw a party with 100 girls and you be the only dude if you wanted. You know, at that point in time. And I think it was really dangerous, man. But for us, we've always been thinking about tomorrow.
Yeah.
We have that interview tomorrow. We have that podcast tomorrow.
Yeah.
We have this and this happening tomorrow. We have those shows to go and
Yeah.
we have a refugee settlement to go and visit.
Yeah.
You know, we have camps. We got stuff we're building. Oh, the studio needs, you know what I mean? We got to travel. We got to go get visas.
Yeah.
You know, I think the mark of a successful career is being able to not have time to mill around. You know what I mean? And it's dangerous, man. You know, minus disease and stuff. Just your well-being and other people's well-being. A lot of people can get hurt, man. So, hey, have fun. By all means, you deserve it. You know, work hard, play hard, but work harder.
Yeah, 100% work harder. So she also talks about the Sin albums, Strength in Numbers.
Yes.
The success of the album, direction of the album, you know, that you chose. You had quite a number of collaborations.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the chorus. Sorry, in the title.
Yeah.
You know, but talk about the relevance of the title and releasing that album in the pandemic.
Yeah.
I mean, you touched on it, but if you could just...
Yeah. Strength in numbers really came about because I've never been in a situation where I am not on the ground to develop a project, first of all. And then also when you're far away from home, surprisingly, it's actually easy to see who really rides with you or not. You know, that kind of becomes way more clear. I was coming back and forth, but who your people are, you know what I mean? That kind of rises to the top when you're not around. And so I had a situation where I'm not around for 2 years, and I need to come up with music. You know, and so I was like, you know what, this is literally leaning on my brothers. You know what I mean? Like leaning on the people I came into the industry with, and asking them to kind of take the mantle. You know what I mean? And help me develop this music. So Strength in Numbers came about because there is strength in having those numbers and those connections that I've built up over time. And an album like that wouldn't have been able to come about if it wasn't about those Strength in Numbers. I had people link me up with people in New York, for example, so I could go and get that equity Rock Nation deal for distribution. You know, I had people here on the ground. I'm sending you guys music. Help me take this, and Sam mix this, and you know, it really was a project where I was hands off, and you know me, I'm always hands on. You know, but I had to kind of just be like, hey, I'm here in Sweden. You know,
cold as Sweden.
And I have to rely on people to get my sound right. You know, to get what the message I wanted to get out there right. And also, it was kind of a call, I think, to East Africa specifically. You know, that we're not gonna make it to the heights we're supposed to unless
we start working together.
Yeah.
Do you feel like us allowing that? I keep saying it, but I don't know. Us allowing that EATV thing to go away from us. Kind of like took the thing away from us, or was the Afro beats and the Amapiano just too strong for us to?
No, we guided the industry. You know, I mean, by the time Genge was running East Africa for a while, you got to know that we dictated the pace of what was happening EA wide, and we accepted it, and we got on board, and we ran with it. And their phases, just how the states will move through trap and then drill and then whatever's coming next. It's the same for us. And I think, you know, you can't necessarily say one platform, EATV, but a lot of platforms that were East African did just turn and become internal. You know, EATV switching to strictly, you know, TZ and Swahili. It's like, okay, it's cool, but you had another 40 million people here who were glued to the screens. You had people in Kenya who were glued to the screens. You know, so I don't know if that's weakened us as much as it's weakened them, but I feel like, you have numbers online. How does that really reflect financially? You know, if we're in a situation right now where a Diamond Platinums can maybe come to UG once every 2 years, you know, that's a bad situation for the biggest artist in East Africa to not be super relevant in Uganda, which has 6-7 shows weekly, and I mean 10,000 people weekly at 6 or 7 different shows. That's it's, you know, you can have as many followers as you want. You can't just leave Uganda behind like that. You can't leave Burundi out. You can't leave Rwanda out. And then in the same light, us as rappers, why are we not going there? You know, we're also to blame. He's not coming here, but why, when we go to that market, if one song doesn't work out, why do we just say, oh well, let me go release another 10 songs where I'm from? It's like, oh gosh, you know, one song didn't work in Kenya. Okay, you're still an artist. You still have fans. Our fans in Kenya are crazy. Like, you know what I mean? I'm getting thirsty. Just think about it. No, but our fans in Kenya are crazy. Like, I'd say out of my top 100 fans, 20 of them are Kenyans. In my top 100.
Kenya is mad. And the thing I like about the Kenyan fans is they challenge you. Like UG fans, they love you, they accept you. You fuck up, whatever. You bring out a song, it's a dud. They'll be like, cool, y'all guy. Kenyan guys will be like, nah, that shit didn't pop. Another one, okay.
Yeah.
Let me bring.
Yeah.
That verse is in it. Another, okay.
Yeah.
Let me bring. Like it's just.
Maze.
Hey, Maze.
Man, that stuff was in popping, bro. Yeah,
If you were to talk about the things you wish you had done better, as Navio, what do you, through this career you've had, which things do you feel like, damn, I could have done that song better, I could have maybe executed that release better, what are these things that you feel like, damn, I could have done.
It's such a weird situation because and I was talking about this with someone because like a money move is very different from a legacy move, and you need both. One pays for the other sometimes. But I think if I had paced myself a little bit, I already feel like in these times I don't release enough music. But I think back in the day I should have pumped out more music, and especially on the hip-hop side, because you pump out something hip-hop and then you have like 2 or 3 commercial songs. It's like I should have definitely done more hip-hop songs and push those out further, because all the people pick up from outside is going to be your most commercial stuff. They go online, they be like, oh, this hip-hop guy battle, he was a battle god. And then they go online, it's like Njogariza, a folk song, which my grandmother loves, by the way. That's the first thing that pops up. And it's like, battle god of what? God of losers? What is this guy a god of? You know what I mean? You don't, like, I could have probably done more, to curb that. But also, clear cut, I'm not here to explain myself to you. I think our attitude from the get-go, with the amount of pressure and the backlash for every single move, we made that conscious decision to not really dwell too much on what they are doing. And what their opinion is. And maybe we should have dwelled a little. We could have humbled ourselves before the masses a little bit. But then we wouldn't be doing hip-hop. We wouldn't be hip-hop. So it's a catch-22. The other thing I could have done better, travel, man. Gotta get out there. As Nonini and Lee.
You have to speak it to the mic, man.
As Nonini and Lee and Nico, believe we gotta get out there. It's like, y'all got so many angles. I thought I could. Y'all don't have a camera on here? No, you got me on the wishing face. I'm like, and then I think that's about it, man. I don't have too many regrets, because as a pioneer, you're not given too many tools with to work with. Fire. You just try to set that spark off, and you hope the next generation
figures it out.
And they better quickly, because otherwise we coming back. End of this year, I'm coming in for a last run, and y'all gonna be wondering what to do for the next 5 years again. So young generation, get in there now. I've waited. These whiz kids and Davidos are running while you're there picking on 50-year-olds. Who's next? Jimmy Katumba? Who's gonna battle next, man? Philly Lutaya? Let's get it. Let's get to it.
Awards. Your awards. Quite an impressive collection. Which is
people don't know a quarter of those are clear cut. I just want to get that out there.
Which is your favorite, like, award? Like, which you felt like, damn, I worked towards this one, and I got it. Which one do you is like,
UG Hip Hop Awards, Artist of the Year, 2016. Was a big one, just because the Chosen and the rollout for that. And what I was going through at the time, that was a big one for me. I'd say also having Lucky Dube's daughter hand me an award all the way out in Malaysia. For African
I was actually going to say
Awards.
I was going to say the Malaysia one.
It's the best.
I didn't know she gave it to you.
Best African act.
How is that for you? Because I saw the footage for that, and I'm like, why is they just like a mosh pit? It's just like mayhem with the performance and everything. How was that moment for you? Like,
it was really dope, man. Because to have a crowd from Africa and then have like 30% of them be from Asia, and they still mess with you.
Yeah,
you know, and they're still linked in, and you still get messages, and you know, you still see one or two of the fans, you know, pop up on your Instagram feed. You're like, oh, that's my Malaysian fan.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Malaysia's really far from here, bro. It's crazy far from Ruwaga.
Yeah,
you know, and some of those commonalities, you're like, how would Ming Lu
understand
my story?
Yeah.
But there's some universal truths,
you
know, in music that I think everyone understands, and that's kind of the beauty of like even groups like the Rolling Stones.
Yeah,
they talk about universal
stuff,
feelings. You know what I mean? And you know, well, okay, they've been doing it for 65 years. Can you imagine performing for 60 years?
Let's find out.
Yeah,
let's try it.
Deal.
Last question.
Yeah.
I remember we talked and you said, "Damn, the first time I performed for this brand, my judger came through."
Yeah.
You know, and unfortunately, you know, we lost her.
Yeah.
But do you feel like, because that moment, I think also, like me knowing you, I feel like that moment changed you.
Yo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It changed you, but like, do you feel like now her watching everything that you've done, you're doing?
Yes.
Do you know? Do you feel like she's like?
Yes.
Get him. Put the foot in, because she was definitely the put your foot in them type.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
Definitely, man. I think, to say the truth, if she was around, I'd be a little further than I am right now.
Yeah.
She had a way of
a battery.
Yeah.
That she would just put in.
Yeah. On Sundays, you know.
Yeah.
And you get a. I saw that song. Oh, very, very nice. You know, what do the people in Zimbabwe think?
Yeah. Do you know anyone in Zimbabwe?
Random, but okay. Let's. You know, it's like she's the perfect person to push you further because she cared. She had no filter.
Yeah.
So she's gonna let you know exactly how she feels, and you do feel this is an 85-year-old woman, but with her behind you, you feel like you can
get
take on the world. You know what I mean? So it definitely was a big one. You know, losing her. Yeah. Well, we haven't lost her, but you know, she passed on.
Yeah.
But you know, even just man. If I could remind myself of her attitude every morning, I'd go a little hard every day.
Yeah,
that's for damn sure. So Jaja Molly, big
man.
up. I just announced it. Y'all, I'm coming in hard, man. Last 5 years, we going in.
You said December, then
yes. Please come with us. Young generation. You guys are way better than any of the acts a lot of the acts I've seen in Africa right now. Let us break our feet.
Please,
because
it's gonna be a movie.
It's gonna be a movie,
my guy. That's the move, yo.
Yes,
my dude.
We're done.
I think so. Surely. What else?
Do we get to ask a question as well?
Ask a question.
So is it the Mith? Is it MYTH or MITH?
Yo, peace and love.
Is it the people in the north calling you Smith?
Smith.
How do you spell that?
I don't know. You know, the thing about those guys, like the love for hip hop is unbelievable. That for me, they call me whatever the hell they want to call me, as long as we're that Boss Vavo and Go Hard Rocks. They're jumping.
Hands in the air.
You remember it was like what? 3 a.m.
Yes.
It's raining.
Yes.
It's raining. Next up on stage is the Mith. I'm like, guys, it's raining. MC is like, get on stage. It's crazy. And we get up and these guys are rocking until 4:30.
It looked like an army. You know, sorry, my movie analogies, but you know when Neo in the final one comes out and it's just the whole world.
The whole
Smiths.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like it was just dark. There's lightning.
Yeah.
There's lightning, by the way, on the electric stage.
On the electric. That's what I was saying.
It's raining, and these guys, there's like 10,000 people in the field, all waiting to hear your first word.
Fair.
It's music.
It's unbelievable, man.
It's so UG.
We have too many stories.
Yeah.
I think we should just do one where it was like, do you remember the time? We'll do an episode where it's like, do you remember the time? Do you remember the time?
True.
You know, but December you're kicking off or you're starting in January?
I'm kicking off in December.
In December?
Yeah, we got a Kampala Boy dropping from Flex the Paper.
Yes.
December 10th.
Yes.
Then from there,
goodbye.
Nobody is.
We're
going in. We're going in.
Yes. Guys, you heard it, man. The TheSoUgPodcast, Navio. My name is The Myth. Peace. We're out of here.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
It's in the way I talk, so UG. From my head to my feet, so UG. What you get is what you see, so UG.